I'm really excited about the video I'm bringing to you today. Not only do we have a brand new knife to check out from the folks at First Edge, but we have a guest appearance from the world-renowned self-defense and fighting instructor and the designer of this knife, Ryan Hoover. That's we're talking about the First Edge HR1 fighting knife. So stay tuned because that's what's coming up next here on Survival on Purpose. Welcome back to Survival on Purpose, your home for information and gear reviews related to camping, survival, and general preparedness for regular folks. My name is Brian. Thanks for joining me. So let me start this video right off the bat with the following disclaimer. Every single time I kind of do anything related to tactical or firearms or self-defense, whatever, I'm going to get the very helpful comment that I'm basically an idiot and don't know what I'm talking about, and what in the world am I doing even talking about the subject? So let me just be right up front, say, just like I said in my very first video about 4 years ago, I am not an expert at pretty much anything. I'm a pretty good plumber, but I don't consider myself an expert at any of the stuff that we're talking about here. My goal in doing any kind of instructional videos or how-to videos is for you and I to learn together. And that definitely holds true today, especially in this video. So we're going to talk about a tactical style, self-defense style knife. And again, that's not something I have any expertise in or very much experience in whatsoever, but it is something I have an interest in because I like to think, it's my goal to protect myself and my family and to be somebody who's able to do so. So that's something I started getting interested in a couple years ago. Well, I happened to be talking to the folks at First Edge Knives at SHOT Show last year, and although I don't know much about a lot of self-defense tactical stuff, I do know a little bit about knives, and I also know that First Edge makes a really good product. Everything I have used from them, I'm 100% satisfied with, and including this knife here that pretty much I carry. It's just in my pocket almost every day. It's definitely one of my knives in rotation, and this is the one that I carry to work. So I beat the heck out of this knife. I've used it a lot, and it's just a really good knife. So I really like First Edge. Well, they told me they were coming out with a kind of a self-defense style concealed carry knife. I thought, wow, that's really cool. And when I learned that the knife designer was none other than Ryan Hoover, who is a world-renowned self-defense and combative instructor and the founder of co-founder anyway, of Fit to Fight, and just an all-around very, very qualified person to be involved in kind of a combative style knife, I was really excited. So, well, cut to the chase, they were kind enough to send me one of their knife sets. And I say set because it includes both the actual knife itself, and this is a quick first look at it. It's the HR1, and this is the knife is the 4050 number. They have different model numbers. It also includes a kind of a concealed carry in the waistband sheath, and if you get, depending on which models, which set you get, it has an aluminum trainer that's got a rounded tip and a dull edge, so you're not going to slice yourself to pieces trying to learn something. So anyway, they were kind of sending me that, and I've been playing with it a little bit, trying to figure it out. But because I am definitely 100% not qualified really to even discuss the subject of knife combatives, I reached out to the designer, Ryan Hoover, and asked him if he would be kind enough to kind of give us his take on it. And he was kind enough to do so, and he sent me some video footage that we're going to air here in just a minute, kind of explaining what his thought processes were going into creating the knife, and a little bit about how he intends it to be used, and some things just to think about. It's always great, in my opinion, to kind of get the mindset of the designer, and I can't think of many people that would be more qualified than Ryan to come up with a really good design. He's just a very qualified guy to do this. So instead of me trying to tell you what I think is cool about it, we're going to let Ryan Hoover, the designer, who is truly an expert, tell you what his thoughts are on it. Before we do that, let me just tell you about the specs real quick. I've got them written down here, and then I'll stop rambling and we'll cut to Ryan. So first of all, the knife itself is a modified Tonto blade, featuring 100% full tang, just a solid piece of Elmax steel, which is extremely high-end steel, and it's hardened to 60-61 Rockwell hardness. It's about 0.11 inches thick, and it's a 7 1/4 inch overall length. The blade edges, the bottom edge is 1 3/4 inch, and the top little part of the Tonto here is 3/4 of an inch. There's a school bus. It has a striking pommel here, just a little bit of a kind of a tip up there, and then it's got the ring, retention ring for either your pinky or different ways of doing it. We'll let Ryan show you that. Black oxide finish on the blade, and the knife itself weighs 2.3 ounces. It comes with this Kydex sheath, which is kind of designed for in the waistband, but it's also got a couple holes in it there to you can use it as a neck knife if you want. So anyway, there's that. Instead of me rambling on, let's just let Ryan give you his thoughts on the knife, and I think that'll be very interesting. Then I'll tell you about a special discount code for the viewers of this video where you can save some money on this HR1 knife. So here's Ryan.
Hey, this is Ryan Hoover with Fit to Fight and First Edge. I want to talk about the HR1 fighting knife that we came up with about a year ago. Kind of why it was designed the way it was, what its practical uses are, and then a little bit about training. So initially the knife was designed to be able to quickly access, easy to conceal, but to be able to fight with it. So I didn't have to have another fighting platform. I could transition from empty hand to edge weapon to firearm, and it'd be pretty seamless. I didn't have to change platforms. I didn't have to make switches. I didn't have to drop the knife, none of that stuff. So the knife was designed as really a backup tool, a backup weapon. It's great for retention, very close quarters kind of stuff. And the cool thing is I can put it pretty much anywhere on my belt line, my waistline, and make any grip, any grab. So even if I made a cross grab this way, I'm gonna end up with a punch grip, a forward grip, as opposed to a reverse grip. So if I end up on the ground and I only can access with the offside, I can still fight, I can still get it. And then again, to be able to go from knife to firearm without having to transition, without having to put this down, without having to resheath, any of that stuff. It doesn't really change my shooting platform at all. I can shoot just as well while I'm holding it. I don't have one with me, but you can also hold a small flashlight and manipulate the knife and the gun with the flashlight. So this is obviously the training knife. It's aluminum, anodized, blunt tip, no edge at all on it. It'll still hurt, you'll still feel it if you get touched up with it. We use it for focus mitt work, heavy bag work. It's not incredibly comfortable to do over a long period of time, but it wasn't designed for use over a long period of time. It was designed as grab, stab, go. So the actual blade itself fits in the exact same sheath, so you don't need more than one sheath, and it has the exact feel, same feel as the trainer. So now whatever I'm training with is what I'll actually use in real time, in real world. So the real knife, same specs as the trainer, but obviously it has an edge. Tanto blade, though we are coming out with a new drop point, we're all coming out with a Tanto with serrations and a compact version of this, which will use the same sheath but is about half an inch shorter, smaller on the handle for people with smaller hands. So that is the HR1 fighting knife, backup knife. Look for lots of cool updates for this blade by SHOT Show January 2018. Thanks.
I don't know about you, but I think that's pretty cool to be able to hear from the designer himself exactly kind of the thought processes that went into the creation of this knife, and you know, kind of the intended uses. So I've already spoken to Ryan. We're going to try to get together at SHOT Show in January of 2018 and talk a little bit more in more detail maybe about this knife, and maybe some of the new models will be out by then. But I want to tell you about the you know, how you can save some money on this knife. So before we do that, we'll talk about the pricing on the thing. So first of all, this entire set, which features the knife, the Kydex sheath, and the trainer knife, is $179.99. It's $180 from First Edge. If you just want the knife with the sheath, then it is $129.99 or $130. And if you want the trainer, then it's $59.99 or $60. So if you just want a trainer knife, you know, but what I like about it is you get the whole set, so you got the exact same feel, the exact same handle shape, everything. It's a little bit lighter, but you know, maybe about 0.3 ounces lighter, I think, for this one. So you don't have to when you learn the way it feels and you learn how everything does in your hand and how it works, you've got exactly the same trainer, which I think is a big benefit. We did kind of come up with a coupon code for the viewers of this video to save 10% by using the coupon code HR1. I'll put that in the description below also, and if it ever ends, then I'll just remove it. But if it's in the description, then it's good. You can use that link and use that coupon code and save 10% on whichever version of the knife system you want to get. I'm looking forward to practicing and learning with this and trying to improve my skills. I don't expect to become an expert, but if I can at least become competent, that's always a good goal. So I'd like to once again say thanks to Ryan Hoover for taking time to make that video and kind of share his thoughts with us. I really appreciate that. If you're looking for some really good instructional kind of learning and how-to stuff, I encourage you to check out Funker Tactical channel. If you're not familiar with them already, they have some really good videos about a lot of different combative type stuff, and those guys all know their stuff. Thanks to the folks at First Edge for sending me this so I can show it to you and for creating that 10% offer for you. And as always, thank you for watching Survival on Purpose. I put out a brand new video every Friday and Saturday, very often random videos throughout the week. You can check out a new one by clicking right here. If you're not subscribed, please click down in the corner, and right down there, and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. Once again, my name's Brian. You're watching Survival on Purpose. Remember, survival's not an accident. So be prepared. I'll see you next time.